Nick speaking, and welcome to this video. Right, another battle report for you, and today we are playing Nidzilla versus this so far unbeaten Blood Angels army. It's going to be a very good game. We're playing the Scouring. Go through the objectives in a minute once we've turned them up. First of all, deployment. I'm currently going first. I've got dual CADs here. In reserve, I've got 4 squads of 3 Ripper Swarms and 2 Morlocks. On the table, I have deployed a Harpy. I've got a Flyrant there. On that Flyrant there, we have Onslaught and Paroxysm. And then we have a Toxicrene. We then have a Trigon Prime, 2 single Carnifexes and Old One Eye, and then up over on the other corner there we've got the Warlord, and he has Psychic Scream and Warp Blast. The Blood Angels over the other side of the table, all the way over the other side of the table, right on the edge. We have 2 Bow Predators on the flanks. We have a Last Cannon Razorback with some tacticals in, another one of those just there, 2 squads of 3 Hurricane Heavy Bolter Speeders, big squad of Death Company just on the edge of the board over there, and in reserve we have a Storm Raven with some Vanguard and a Chaplain in. So we're going to turn the objectives over, and then we'll be back to see if there's any CZ initiative rolls. Okay, so we turned over the objectives. We have a 4-point objective just there and a 3-point one just over there. Pretty heavy points on my side of the table. The middle of the table we have a 2-point objective just there and another 3-point objective there, which leaves the Blood Angels with a 2-point objective in that ruins, and just by the speeders the 1-pointer. So it looks like the Blood Angels are coming to us, and they're going to try and start off by trying to seize the initiative. So let's see if they can do it. A 1, no, an upside down 6, but no good. Okay, so Tyranid turn 1 coming up. Okay, so turn 1 for the Tyranids. Just jiggled the MCs at the back here, just moving them around, trying to get a bit of cover. Ran the Toxicrene into the central piece of terrain there. In the meantime, the Harpy and the 2 Flyrants moved up as fast as they could, 24 inches, trying to get in range of these pesky speeders, who, with those Hurricane Bolters, will definitely cause me a problem. As you can see, destroyed 1 speeder from each unit, not that successful. However, they have jinked, so I took 2 speeders out and they've jinked, which is going to be quite useful, at least slow their guns down a little bit for this turn. Psychic power wise, the only power I got off was Warp Blast on this Flyrant here. Tried to target the Death Company but scattered off of the board. And that was basically it. So we're going to move into now turn 1 for the Blood Angels. Okay, so turn 1 for the Blood Angels. The Death Company moved on up to the edge of the board there and then ran, trying to avoid any Morlocks coming down on them, I believe. The Pred there moved to the flank along with this Pred all the way over that side. Managed to get on top of the hill, wasn't immobilised. The speeders here just repositioned. They were obviously only snapshotting. I didn't jink, shot my Flyrant, lost 2 wounds from those multi-melter stroke Hurricane Bolters, rolling pretty hot, even just needing 6s. And then the last cannon came in, shot me, took 1 wound off. The other last cannon missed. So I survived with 1 wound, and I haven't jinked, so at least my guns are at full power, which is quite useful. As we move into turn 2 for Tyranids and reserve, so let's get some dice, see what comes out. So I have 2 Morlocks. 1 is out, 1 isn't, and then 4 squads of Ripper Swarms. All of them are out. Okay, so just 1 Morlock not out. Okay, so yeah, just 1 Morlock came out. I am going to risk the mishap on these Death Companies just because, well, what else am I going to go for? Everything else is vehicles. So we're going to go for it. I'm going to nominate to go just about there, which will be on 6 men if I get on target. Let's have a look, see how we come down. So we want a dead on. Nope, I scatter off the board. How many? Oh, sorry, mishap table. It's not a 1, which is good, so my opponent gets to deploy my Morlock. More to come. Okay, so turn 2 for the Tyranids. The Ripper Swarms all came on here and just ran forward. Just jiggled these around here, just making sure everything was in Synapse range. The main action, of course, was down this end of the table. The Morlock was placed by my opponent right there next to this horrible Death Company. Yes, I think he's going to die next turn. I moved the Flyrant and the Harpy there and the Flyrant there, just trying to take up some space on the edge of the table there, because obviously there is another fly coming in from reserve. I then used the Psychic Powers. The only power that I got off was on this guy, again Warp Blast, and I managed to kill some Blood Angels there. I think I killed 3 in total, was it? Yes. Yeah, 3 of those Death Companies. In the shooting phase, I shot his twin-linked twin-linked Devourers at this speeder squad here. He jinked, managed to do some pretty good saves. 1 skimmer left with 1 wound, and the gun underneath, the mounted gun, is gone. I'm annoyed then because, of course, that was potentially first blood for me, so I could have shot this guy into the speeder, which had already jinked, got first blood. Arguably, I am going to lose first blood over there with the Morlock. In the end, I decided that I just couldn't leave 2 speeders here with all their missile launchers and everything, so I shot him into there. They did jink, and I managed to kill 1 of the speeders, so I have given up first blood, but I've drastically reduced the power of these very nasty speeders, so all in all, pretty happy. The Harpy shot this speeder here. Managed to get a dead-on hit after being twin-linked, but once again a nice 4+ cover save from jinking, so no damage. And that was it. So we're going to move in now to turn 2 for the Blood Angels, and they've got some reserves, so let's see if the Storm Raven comes out. It does indeed. Turn 2 for the Blood Angels. Okay, so turn 2 for the Blood Angels. This pesky Bow Predator zooming down the board here, obviously aiming up my very weak Rippers with its Strength 6 Flamers. Not looking forward to that. Over this side of the table, the Storm Raven came on this side of the board, and the other Pred moved up there fast, targeting my Carnifex that was just standing there. I took 3 wounds from the Storm Raven. The last wound was taken off by that last cannon on the Razorback. Over this side of the table, these guys got out here, eyeing up my Flyrant just on 1 wound. They shot me, I did jink, no wounds were taken. However, this speeder here, even though it was snapshotting only, managed to get some bullets through, and I failed my save, and I died. So that was actually first blood to the Blood Angels. This speeder here tried to shoot my Harpy but failed. And then over here we went into the assault. I lost 1 wound on my Morlock from Overwatch. Then I only lost 1 wound from all the attacks from those Death Company. I did no wounds back. I did, however, manage to do hit and run, and I've just chungled up over there. The Blood Angels consolidated just 1 inch. And that was turn 2 for the Blood Angels. So we're going to go into turn 3 for the Tyranids, and let's see if my Morlock comes out. A 1, no it doesn't. Okay, so turn 3 for Tyranids. Okay, so Tyranid turn 3. Started off just moving these Rippers around, just spreading them out a bit. Old One Eye advanced over to maybe give them a little bit of support. The Trigon Prime moved up into targeting range of the Speeder. Shot my 12 bullets. The Speeder did jink, but I managed to take it out, so that was a victory point for killing a fast attack unit. Right over here, I basically went off the board with both of the Flyers, and the Morlock burrowed back into ongoing reserve. So I have 3 units in ongoing reserve, and of course the other Morlock in reserve, ready for the next turn. But now it's going to be turn 3 for the Blood Angels. Okay, so turn 3 for the Blood Angels. The Predator moved up right next to Old One Eye. Old One Eye went down very, very easily to the Flyer, and also to that last cannon there. Took him out very, very easily. That last cannon over there as well, actually. So a good amount of firepower, but of course no saves from anything. And then the Flamer. Strength 6, AP 3 Flamer went into those and instant death them, so I lost those. The Vanguards there with the Chaplain disembarked from the Storm Raven and managed to get into assault with my Carnifex, and easily took me down with all their Lightning Claws and re-rolls and re-rolls. That was pretty much it. This tank moved up from there to there, to the edge, and the Death Company moved and ran, just hugging the board edge there. As we move in to turn 4 for Tyranids, I've got obviously 3 ongoing reserves, and the other Morlock automatically comes in turn 4 as well. Lots more to come. Okay, so turn 4 for the Tyranids. Had my reserves coming in, moved the Flyrant just up there, managed to get rear armour of this and wrecked it, pretty useful. Moved the Rippers that were here just round and coming up here, moved those Rippers up. Obviously there still is that Pred with the very nasty Flamer on that side of the table. The Morlocks, the first Morlock came down, I hit this Vanguard, I double tapped them, I managed to kill a couple of them, and then I went into ongoing reserve. The second Morlock came down and scattered all the way over there into the Toxicrene, mishapped, and again went into ongoing reserve. The Toxicrene thought we'd just have some fun, so he actually moved away from the objective, came up and attempted to do some damage on these guys. I did manage to kill the Thunderhammer guy. I took 1 wound in return and just stayed locked in combat. The Harpy, he came on to the middle of the table there and then ran 9 inches, so he's just on his way over to possibly look at taking out that Skimmer, which of course is worth an extra victory point. As we move into turn 4 for the Blood Angels. Okay, so turn 4 for the Blood Angels. Started off moving the Balpred up here, got it into range as best it could, flamed my Rippers. 1 Ripper was out of range, so he managed to survive. The Storm Raven shot at my other Rippers just here, and again did pretty well, only one Ripper base gone. The Death Company decided it was finally time to make an appearance, so they came across the board after cowering on the board edge because of the Morlocks, moved and ran towards the action, along with this Razorback, just moving up to the objective, which is in the middle of the board. The Razorback, the Skimmer, and this Razorback here, who moved up towards this objective, all shot at my Harpy. No 6s were rolled. In the assault phase, the Toxicrene managed to take out both of the remaining Vanguard. 1 was a Chaplain, so that was Slay the Warlord. And then I consolidated 6 inches, consolidated up towards this tank here. This tank, very annoying, plus there's a 3-point objective underneath it. And that was it. So we're going to move in now to turn 5 for the Tyranids, potentially the last turn. Right, my turn 5. The Morlock, or at least the first Morlock, he came down on this 4-point objective. He got a dead on hit, didn't scatter at all. Little squad of Rippers just also moved and ran. There was only 1 Ripper there, but he ran there to back him up. He's tried to get in, but failed miserably on their movement. The Toxicrene and those Rippers both assaulted the tank. The Rippers couldn't do anything, but I just wanted to get near that objective. Failed miserably in the assault, just 1 whole point taken off, but at least I'm there contesting that objective with the tank. Over here, the Flyrant, he landed and moved up towards this objective. I managed to get Warp Blast off, took a whole point off of this tank, then shot the Twin-Link Devourers and managed to wreck it. The guys got out, rolled a 9, they're not pinned. The Harpy also landed. He moved from there to there onto that 1 point objective. He did shoot his twin-linked blast at these guys here. Could just see the guy on the end, but scattered off twice. The other Morlock came down here, managed to get again a dead-on hit onto the skimmer. I took the skimmer out for another victory point, and then just moved into the terrain and on that 2 point objective. And that was my turn 5. So we're now going to move into the Blood Angels turn 5 and potentially the last turn. Okay, so turn 5 for the Blood Angels. Tried their best to remove the Morlock that was on the 4 point objective there. This thing moved up here, used its flamer. Even twin-linked flamer, he rolled a 1 and then another 1, so the Ripper didn't die. Did take a wound off of this one. The Storm Raven and the last cannon from the other Rhino there all shot into him, down to 2 wounds. So he survived. He's on the objective, but he's probably hoping the game doesn't go on. Over here, the Death Company finally got into close combat with some Ripper swarms, killed them off, consolidated to the objective. So we're now contesting that objective. The guys that were in the Razorback got out, and they're holding that 3 point objective there. And then these guys got out here. Well, they were already out, but they moved up within the 3 inches of that objective, shot my Flyrant, didn't take any wounds. That's pretty much it. That's what's happened. So point wise, basically at this moment in time, I have that 2 point objective there, the 1 point objective there. This one is the Blood Angels 1, which is 2 points, and the 5 point objective in the middle is the Blood Angels. And then I have this one here, 4 points, and this one is contested. Adding all those up, it means that the Tyranids have a 7-5 advantage. The Blood Angels do have first blood, so that's 8 points in total. I have 2 points for killing fast attacks. I have 1 point for Slay the Warlord, and I'm also holding Line Breaker there with the Morlock. So it gives me 11 points. So it's 11-8 to the Tyranids. Let's see if the game goes on. I think if it does, the game will probably change. Let's have a look. It's a 6. The game is definitely going on. Okay, so turn 6 coming up. Okay, so turn 6 for the Tyranids. The Flyrants that were just over there decided to come over here and try and destroy this. Tried to do Warp Blast. I failed. I actually perilled, and I rolled a 1 on the perils table. Luckily, I didn't fail my leadership, and only just took a wound. And then I successfully managed to wreck this with its last 2 hull points. So that is wrecked. The Rippers just moved around a bit, just around this objective. Over here, the Toxicrene decided he would have some fun and actually charged the Death Company. And he actually did pretty well, managed to kill 3 Death Company. I did take 1 wound in return, just locked in combat there. Over this side of the table, the Harpy shot its big blast template into these guys, did manage to kill 1, but they weren't pinned. And that was it. So turn 6 now for the Blood Angels. Let's see what they can do. Okay, so turn 6 for the Blood Angels. I'm going to run over what happened. It wasn't pretty. Okay, so the Storm Raven moved up here and moved basically fast just to get Line Breaker point. These guys moved up in rapid fire range of this Flyrant, tried to take it down a few wounds, fouled. These guys here also moved up and shot it, but also fouled. Over here, the Razorback moved up there and then decided to try and get in to contest this one. Got immobilised on the piece of terrain and is out of the 3 inches range. And then over here, the Toxicrene, probably I would say man of the match for the Tyranids. He took out 2 Death Company, leaving the Chaplain by himself, who isn't fearless. The Death Company, of course, was. And then he fouled his leadership, rolled a 10, and then, well, he moved. I think like 18 inches all the way up over there. So that gave me this 3-point objective along with the 4-point objective there. I've got the 1 and 2-point objectives over there. Blood Angels do still hold the 3-pointer and the 2-pointer. We both have Line Breaker. I've got Slay the Warlord and 2 extra victory points for the Killing Fast attack, and then the Blood Angels have First Blood. So the overall victory for the Tyranids. What a fun game that was. It's really late, so I'm not going to do a tactical corner tonight, unfortunately. Sorry about that. But basically it was a free-for-all, pretty much all the way to the end of the game. The last couple of turns we just used whatever units we had left just to try and grab some objectives. Yeah, that's basically what happened. Okay, so that was it. Really hope you enjoyed the game. Thanks very much for watching as always, and I'll see you in the next video.